Bhusunda is instructing a celestial in self-inquiry. Bhusunda continued, "A mansion visualized in space does not need the support of real pillars. Even so, the imaginary or illusory world appearance does not depend upon real time and space. Time, space, and world appearance are all but notional." We tend to think of time and space as things going on outside of ourselves. But I think even from the point of view of Western philosophy, time and space are regarded as factors of consciousness. What's time? Is time the ticking of a clock? Is time memories? Memories based on the past? We certainly regard memories as internal. Memories aren't walking around outside. So we've no problem believing that memories are part of our mind. Memories do not have objective existence. Well, we can look at the memories in rocks, I suppose. If you're a geologist, you can say that these rocks record evidence of certain events which happened millions of years ago. But that's indirect, that's inference, that's theory, which we then build into fact. In fact, this is how we work in general. We make theories about things. These theories arise as a way of explaining observed phenomena, and then eventually we assume these theories to be factual. So we generally accept as a fact that there was an ice age 10,000 years ago. But all this is a deduction, an inference. It's not something which is directly knowable. So what we do is we substitute inferences, conjectures, hypotheses, theories, notions for what is directly knowable. We know that the sun goes round the earth. This is directly knowable. It rises in the east, it sets in the west. We talk about sunrise and sunset. But we know that's not true. We know that it's the earth going round the sun. But that's an inference. That's what's called a scientific fact. And we substitute that fact for our direct experience. We say our direct experience is wrong. The scientific fact is correct. Scientific facts are working theories. And they're fine, there's nothing wrong with them. But we should not let them substitute for our direct experience. Nor should we infer scientific facts from our direct experience. This is what the creationists do. They've got their own feelings about things, and then they try and make them into scientific facts, and say the earth was created 3,000 or 10,000 years ago or whatever. This is how we work then. We have a way of turning our notions into facts. We enjoy a movie, so then we say, it was a good movie. We turn the feeling into an objective fact. This was a wonderful book. And what you really mean is you enjoyed this book. So you express your feelings by turning them into objective facts. And they're not objective facts. All notions we've got about the world are notions, they're feelings that we've got. They're the articulation of feelings. Some people think that the world's an evil place, a miserable place. Some people think it's a place of wonder and beauty. Some people think it's a brutal dog-eat-dog world. And all these depend on your notions. And these notions become your reality. We have notions of time and space. Our reality becomes determined by such notions of time and space. If you regard reality is essentially dreamlike, then that's the truth of it. If that's the culture you arise from, that becomes the truth of your culture, the truth of the world that you live in. The world appearance is extremely subtle, and it is built merely by mental activity or the movement of thought. It is like scent in the air. However, unlike such scent in the air, this world appearance is experienced only by the mind that conceives it, whereas scent can be experienced by others also. Just as one's dream is experienced only by the dreamer, this creation is experienced only by the one in whose mind it arises. It's very true. It's quite difficult to talk to somebody who's got a particular worldview. I have this neighbour who's in general a very decent person, but he's got this way of thinking which has been influenced by left-wing politics. He sees all wars as essentially economic. He seems to think that we're on the brink, perpetual brink of social collapse and social revolution. All politics is about exploitation. The idea of a politician who's actually got other people's welfare at heart is totally, just doesn't compute. And it's a bit strange because he's invested all his savings in shares which are plummeting at the moment, and he doesn't seem to appreciate there's a contradiction here. He's got this inherent belief in the imminent failure of capitalism, and yet he plays the stock market. Maybe he somehow thinks he can beat it or make it work to his advantage. And he's got no qualms about what he invests in, what he supports with his money. So perhaps this is how he sees the world, how he sees people operating in the world, and he'll do the same. I don't quite understand the logic of his way of thinking, but he definitely has a very particular worldview, and it's a very bleak worldview and a very angry worldview. And within that worldview, that anger is a good thing. So I'm going to have a story about this, how we create our own notions of the world and how we live in it. In this connection, there's an ancient legend which tells how Indra, the king of the gods, hid himself within the bowels of a subatomic particle. I bet you thought subatomic particles didn't have bowels. Well, there you go. We'll find out about this in the next video.